Howdy, howdy, everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to another Wednesday deck review. We've got a couple of them on the table for you, right over here. First up, we're going to look at the Cobalt. Yes, the Bicycle Foilback Cobalt. This is in line with the Metalux set of bicycles, partnered with the Crimson Backs, which are the reds, and this is the blue metallic foil. Absolutely fantastic. We do have our red Metalux bees here that we are going to compare that Metalux, the metal. So let's go ahead and get this opened up. We'll take a closer look at the box. There we go. Nice. Comes off pretty easily. I wonder if it'll go back on easily. Nope. We've learned the hard way that it doesn't like to go back on as easy as it comes off. We have a pick for our guitar. So just looking at this, it looks like the seal's a little off center, which is probably to be expected with some of these. I'm guessing, yeah, even that's a little off center. So you got the foil on the back, foil on the side, air cushioned. There's a gray box that's embossed with these hearts that are like each row is opposite of the other row, if you can see that. Nice and shiny. 2018, the United States Playing Card Company, all rights reserved, from Kentucky. Cobalt. There we go. Opens up pretty nice. There is the logo, bicycle logo, trademark stuff on the top case. The inside is basically that embossed, because it is embossed, so the inside does have the hearts on it. Comes out nice and neat here. So, just like with most of the bicycle decks, comes with the two jokers. One is plain and one is blue. You can do a nice little color change with that. My recommendation, though, is you could buy two decks, and then you could have, two non-colored or two colored jokers, which would be fine. Or, get this, you could even buy, you could buy three decks, and then you could have three of them with color, or three of them that are plain, and then one with color or one that's plain, and you can do a nice little package trick with that. So that's fun. Okay, so it looks like we've got, they do this, and it's not confusing, but let's take a look here. Light meets luxury, stamped with real metal. The Bicycle Metalux playing cards feature the latest technology from the Bicycle brand, uniting iconic design, brilliant light reflection, and ultimate luxury. These Metalux series cards feature the intricate rider back design and showcase the full potential of metal on cards. Beautiful color tone, no flake durability, and printed on premium cardstock with the patented air cushion finish. The next level in card play, manipulation, and magic is now in your hands. Same thing that we had with the Metalux bees. It says, due to the manual stamping process, there may be slight differences from one card to another, which I have found some. Excuse me. Yawn. So you can see that it is a little bit lower on the stamping on that. So the back design, nice and shiny. So that's kind of fun. I wonder if we'll be able to find the way that it looks on the bees is there's a line where you can see that it was stamped. So let's just go through them real quick. The cards are all these, they're just standard pips and stuff, except for the colorway is changed to the blue, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's got that same blue color. It's not foiled, but that's what you're looking at. Power Pip is your Ace of Spades. So there you have it. So these are the Cobalts. Now, if we consider, in a similar sense, if I can find it, I'll show you here. Which one is right here? You can see right at the top there as I'm going, you might have to pause, but you should be able to see that there's a line right above that card. There's a line. You can even see it a little bit better since I put the other card there. You can see that there's a line from when they stamped it. But I prefer B cards over bicycles. That's just my personal preference. But if you're looking at the red color versus the blue color, my question is, when are they going to come out with the blue foil back Bs, the blue Metalux? That's what I want. So, what's your favorite? Do you prefer the red or the blue? I don't have the crimsons here to compare them, but as far as the foil goes, which ones do you prefer? I like the blue color more, but I love the B design more. So in terms of how they feel like a standard bicycle. I would say that they have that chunkiness to them that you expect from a bicycle. I've been working on my fan a little bit, and this is what's interesting. There's a subtleness, just a little subtlety for you guys. When I was first doing my fan, I would fan it out like this, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. But what I didn't realize, and that's how quick it happens. That's how quick the subtlety is. After you squeeze out this, all you do is just relax your hand ever so slightly and let the back fall and let this fall, and now you've got a full fan. Then we're not quite there with this one. I could probably do it maybe like 1 out of 20 times. Yeah. But so as far as doing this, whoa, that just shot right out of there. But yeah, they feel good. They feel like bikes. They're foiled, so you know, it does beg the question of like, do I like the foil back? I don't mind the foil back. I love the Bs. That's my opinion on that. These have a thickness to them and a chunkiness to them that just feels right. Absolutely love it. So that little bit of a subtlety, just to give you a little bit more information than I normally do. When we do our reviews, I want to include other information that you guys are going to find interesting. And so there's a little tidbit for you. When you're doing your fan, just open your hand just ever so slightly after you do the primary fan like this. Just open your hand, and that'll let the back and the front drop just slightly. And then when you go to close it, you're going to rotate everything in this way. You can use your finger, but you'll be able to close it with one hand just by rotating everything down and letting gravity do the work for you. So I'm doing more stuff with the Bs than I am the bicycles because I love them. Anyway, but see, these are the Cobalts. I love the Crimsons. I love the Cobalts. I like bicycles, but I prefer the Bs. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because my top 5 card video is going to come out probably at the end of April is when we're going to do our top 5. It depends on if all the cards that we've ordered are going to be in by then, because we want to make sure that we've had, because there's always new stuff coming out. So a top 5 is always what I currently prefer. And the reason why I want to wait that long is because there are some things that we have coming in, both surprises that I don't know about, plus Kickstarters. So I know sometimes people ask me if I'm expecting things in, because if they want to send me stuff, then they want to make sure that I'm not ordering what they want to send me. So the only stuff I have pending right now is make playing cards. So my NPC cards are on the way. They should be here Friday, so we will open them on Saturday. Yes, I want to open them on Friday, but I will wait for the live stream on Saturday to open the NPC cards. So that'll be exciting. We'll be able to do that together. And then we have some Kickstarters that are expected to show up by the end of April. the Luxury Knox. Plus, David has some more cards on the way. Plus, I have to pick up some cards that he already has. So once we have a chance to do all that, then we're going to figure out what the rules are going to be. Because if you have a deck that is pretty much like, okay, this is the best deck that I own, that's possible. It can completely be true. But there's also a thart, whatever a thart is. Is that when you, ooh, that seems like a bad idea. So basically, just like I did here when I said I like the color of this one, but I like the back design of this one. That's the kind of thought that I'm going to have in terms of choosing my top 5. And there might even be some slots that have 2 choices because I couldn't decide between the 2. It's going to be more of a category-based top 5 with a couple of straightforward thoughts in terms of like, what is my favorite deck to do like theme tricks with? What's my favorite deck based on the color? What's my favorite deck based on the feel? And all that's kind of how it's going to come out. And some of the decks, like we're going to do is David and I have a series, or I have a series idea, but I was talking to him about it yesterday. It kind of came into my mind was, what do you guys consider to be standard decks now? Because when I look at Frontline, when I look at first tier, I look at, we've actually got some right here, Tally Hos, Bees, and Bicycles. When I consider decks that people consider standard, this is what I think of. I think of Bees, Bicycles, and Tally Hos. This is what a lot of people think is a go-to deck to have. Monarchs, or Theory 11 in general, but mostly Monarchs, are becoming first tier because they're available in Walgreens. But for anybody who's in the community, Theory 11 has always been your go-to tier. Well, within reason. Slow Hands is definitely, last year, has jumped to the forefront. A lot of great magicians are like, yes, let's jump on this. These are great. First playing cards have become definitely a must-have in your everyday carry. And Nox from Alex Pandrea. So this is the series that we're going to start, is basically how can we, one, we're going to feature decks that are standard. Like, this is what everybody carries. Everybody loves the red bikes. Bar none, if I would have to guess, this is a guess, anybody who's a magician out that's watching these videos that performs, and I will try to reach out and ask this question. It might seem like a silly question at first, but like Josh and Jason, I'll ask them, I'll ask Doug. Most people will say red bikes. Actually, I don't have to ask Doug because I know he specifically has mentioned this recently. Red bikes is like the standard for a lot of magicians, because if you go to somebody's house and they have cards sitting on their coffee table, it's most likely going to be a bicycle, and it's probably going to be red or blue, obviously. But reds are just, a lot of people like red. So that's going to be my series that I want to work on, and I want to feature these different decks. We've obviously featured like these special types of bicycles, which we like to do. But here's the thing. David and I, neither of us own Nox. Neither of us have bought any Nox whatsoever. I have Luxury Nox on the way. As soon as the Kickstarter is ready, they're going to be sending them out, which should be by the end of April. I should have those. And those are a metallic ink, just like these. But we don't own any of the regular Nox. So we want to get our hands on the regular Nox so that we can have an idea of whether or not these are mainstream. Not mainstream, again, like I said, you're not going to be able to pick these up at Walmart or at Rite Aid or anything like that. But when we talk about being a beginner magician, and we talk about what you want to carry as far as, in terms of doing magic with, is it going to make sense to carry one of these decks? That's what we want to do. We want to compare, contrast, and that's going to be a deck series that I want to come up with, because eventually we're going to run out of cards to review, not because they're always going to be available, but because we might not always have them, for one. But for two, I also want to be able to give you guys this really in-depth idea about playing cards in general, and thinking about, just like if you were to do music, because I know a lot of people who like magic like music. I have a guitar sitting over here. Stuff like that. You break down the music because you want to know the rhythm, you want to know the beat, you want to know the melody, how everything kind of flows together. The same thing with playing cards. Why do we love designs? What about designs do we love? Do we like dropping cards all over the place here? Do we like the border? Do you like borders on here like this? White border, black border, or do you like the no borders? I personally love the no border look. Do I think that is best across the platform? I don't know. That's what we're going to start exploring when we look at these playing cards in terms of recognizability. And something else that we want to include in that series is the psychological aspect of why you might want certain playing cards. And we might bring, I would like to get guests on the channel if I can, but I'll definitely try to reach out to some magicians like Spidey Hypnosis. Spidey is mentalist. He might know like certain indicators as to those types of things. So we'll definitely look into that kind of stuff. I hope you enjoyed. The Cobalt bicycles. They are shiny. One thing to keep in mind, if you want to do, you can always, what kind of stuff can you do with it? Shiny stuff. But yeah, that's what we have today for you with the Cobalts for this particular one. We're going to move on to the next one. Back in the box it goes. Just like so. Thank you guys, and remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And we will see you in the next one.